Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone, welcome back to the PL-300 exam preparation series where we are exploring the first learning path, prepare the data. This is the second part of the video where we are exploring the topic design a star schema that contains facts and dimensions. In this video, we are going to take a real world data set and we are going to convert that raw data into a proper star schema inside the Power Query editor. So for that, you need to go to the SharePoint website, and I'm also going to share the link of this in the content section. So just need to go and look for this particular folder, data modeling example, and inside this data modeling example there is a CSV file which says superstore.csv. So make sure that you just download this superstore.csv file in one of the folders on your PC, and we are going to then use this file inside the Power Query editor. Before we actually go in Power Query editor and connect with this file, just let me show you how the raw file looks like. So this file actually represents transactions that have taken place in a superstore chain that has multiple stores across the US. So we have a superstore chain that has multiple stores across the US, and for each store we have a set of customers and we have a set of products. The transactions take place at a particular date and time, and for the transactions there are certain fields associated. So this is how the data looks like. So it's a transactional data, and now we have to actually convert this raw data which is inside a single CSV file into fact and dimension tables using the knowledge from the fact and dimensions definition that we saw or that we looked at in the previous video. So now let's go to the Power Query editor. So you need to open a new Power BI file where we are going to connect to this superstores.csv file. So here I am inside the Power Query editor. So I have opened up a blank file and I have saved it as Superstore. And now I am going to go and click on new source, and I am going to connect to that particular superstore.csv file. So the connector that we are going to use is the text/csv. So I have come to the path where this superstore.csv file is saved, and I'm going to click on open. Here it is showing me a preview of the file, and I'm just going to go and click on OK. So here you can see that now the superstore.csv file has been successfully connected, and I can see the superstore query inside the Power Query editor. I can see that this file has 26 columns. So if I just scroll down to if I just come down the bottom left, so here I see that there are 26 columns in this particular file, and this is the only file that we have to use as the raw data. So the first thing that we have looked at is going to be the same, that we are going to first create staging area or a staging layer. So I'm just going to click on new group and I'm going to say staging area, and I'm going to click on OK. So you can see that the Superstore query is now inside the staging area, and the next thing that we actually do is that I am going to go and click right and do the right click and then uncheck enable load. So now we have a staging area and we have the raw file Superstore, and this is the only file that actually represents our raw data. And now the goal is to first figure out what are going to be my dimensions and what is going to be my fact table or my facts. So the first thing that you normally do for your data model is that you figure out what are the dimensions or what are going to be the dimension tables. And remember, we saw the definition of the dimension in the previous video where it said that these are business entities. So first of all, business entities or simple entities. So first of all, we have to see that for the data that has been provided to us in the Superstore file, what are going to be the entities. So remember, I told you at the start of this video that the Superstore data actually represents transactions that take place in multiple stores across the US, and the transactions happen once a customer buys a particular product. So based on just the definition of the dimension and the definition of the entity, I can clearly say that the entities that are present inside this data are going to be my customers, my stores, and my products. The other part of the definition says that once you have figured out the entity, then that entity would have attributes. So let's say that for this particular data set, if customer is our entity, then we can have customer as the name of our dimension. And then there are going to be certain columns in the table which actually explain what a customer is. So there could be a name of a customer, there could be an ID associated with a customer, and there could be multiple fields. So we would have a table with multiple columns. The table is going to represent the entity, which is going to be the dimension, and the attributes are going to be the columns which actually explain what that dimension is all about. So at this stage, like I said, that the data modeling part has nothing to do with Power BI. This working you have to do offline. And by offline, I mean that you can do it on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard, or any other software or any other utility inside your computer. So here I am going to open up a blank Excel sheet, and I am going to write down the names of my dimensions and the attributes or the columns which actually explain my dimension. And then once we have figured out the dimensions, then we are going to move to the fact tables. So here I have opened up a blank Excel sheet, and I am going to just write down the names of my entities. So I have said that customers is going to be one of my entities, then products is going to be one of my entities, and the stores, obviously the stores are in different locations, so stores are going to be my entity. So I have just written down these three, and I'm going to just put the names in bold. And now I will go back into the Power Query environment, and I will figure out what are the attributes associated with each of these. So what are the attributes, what are the columns that are associated with customers, and I will come back and write the names of these columns in front of these customers, products, and stores. So now let's go and see what are the columns inside the Superstores query in Power Query Editor. So here we are going to look at each of the columns. So first of all, we are going to look at the columns which are associated with the customer. So we know that category does not define a customer. Similarly, city does not define, container does not define, but we have a column customer ID which actually is associated with the customer. So we can say that customer ID is an attribute of my customer. Similarly, customer name is an attribute of a customer, and then we have the customer segment. So these three we can clearly see are attributes of a customer. But department is not an attribute of a customer. Similarly, if I scroll on the right, discount, item ID, item, number of records, order date, order ID, none of these actually represent as an attribute of my customers. So I'll keep scrolling right, and order quantity, order priority, postal code, all of these, the product base margin, profit, regions, row ID. So all of these that I have seen so far, sales, ship date, ship mode, shipping cost, state, and unit price. So none of these columns are an attribute of my customer. So the only three columns that I have figured out are customer ID, customer name, and customer segment. So I will just go back and I will write down the name of these headers, these column headers, in my Excel sheet. So I have come back to my Excel sheet, and I have just put down the names of these three columns, customer ID, customer name, and customer segment, in front of my customer's dimension or my customer business entity or customer entity. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to search for the columns or the attributes which actually belong to the products, which actually define my product. So let's go back. So I'm back in Power Query Editor, and now I have to search for the attributes or the columns which actually belong to my dimension product. So I start from the very left. So I think that category is something that is related to the product. So I have to keep it. City, I don't need to keep it because it has nothing to do with the product. Then container, obviously a container is again related to the product. So container goes there. Customer ID, customer name, customer segment, we have already put those into the customer dimension. So these I don't require. Then comes department. So obviously department here represents a part of the store, but essentially the store has nothing to do with the department because it is there in all the stores. It is actually related to where the product is placed. So this department will be required for the for this product dimension. Then comes a tricky thing, which is the discount. So now you might think that discount is associated with the product, but essentially discount is not associated with the product because discount is something associated with the transaction. So every transaction obviously would involve a product, but discount itself is not dependent on the product. It is dependent on the product, it is dependent on the customer, it is also dependent maybe on the store. So discount we cannot put as an attribute of the customer. Sorry, I said discount cannot be made an attribute of a customer. The discount is cannot be made an attribute of the product. So that I meant actually the product. So now let's move ahead, and now we have item ID. So item here is basically the word which is being used to refer to the product. So item ID is very much an attribute of the product. So this column would be required. Then comes the item itself. So obviously this is also required. Then comes number of records. So number of records is something where it might represent some kind of a transaction. So we will have to look at it, but essentially it does not look that it is something associated with the product. Then comes order date, which is obviously associated with a transaction. Order ID, order priority, all of these are attributes of some kind of a transaction. Then comes the order quantity, postal code. They are not associated with the product. Then there is something which is called as product base margin. So base margin is normally associated with the product because it refers to the margin that an organization makes on a product. So this we can keep as an attribute. Then comes profit. Profit is obviously something associated with every transaction. Then comes the region, row ID. All of these columns are not associated with the product. Similarly, sales, ship date, ship mode, all of these are not associated with the product. Similarly, shipping cost, state, and unit price. So unit price, again, somebody can argue that unit price is associated with the product. But remember, once we were looking at the definition of a dimension, we said that the records have to be unique. So if we have products, then they would have price. But what if the price changes with time? So there is a possibility that a product costs an X amount today and maybe it costs a Y amount in 10 days. So this kind of a thing which can change, that does not belong to, and that does not actually make the records unique. So we can say that, okay, price is associated with the product, but we are only looking for those attributes which do not change over time, which are constant, right? So I would not take unit price as an attribute that needs to be put into the product. So I have seen that there are a few of the columns. So I'll put those columns in the Excel sheet and I'll go and now work on my Excel sheet. So here I have listed down the attributes which are item ID, item, category, department, container, and product base margin, as we just saw in the Power Query Editor. So now we have figured out the attributes for our two tables, customers and products, and now the stores table is left. So now let's go back and see what are all the attributes associated with the stores. So now we are back in the Power Query Editor, and now we are looking for the attributes for our store. So we have seen that a lot of the columns we have already covered. So essentially we see city as being the one which goes into which is related with the stores, because the stores are located in different cities. Then the rest of the things we have already seen, they have already been covered. So probably the thing to note here would be postal code. So postal code is again associated with the store. Then the region is associated with the store, because we are looking at attributes that define the location. And then obviously we have the state here. So 4 columns we have seen are associated with the store. So these are the attributes that we are going to put in the Excel sheet. So now let's go and work on the Excel sheet. So here we can see that the 4 attributes that we looked at are state, city, postal code, and region, which belong to the stores dimension. So these were the 3 dimensions that we figured out that are most likely related to the different entities presented in the raw data. So this is an exercise that you have to do offline. You have to make a list. Either you make it on a piece of paper, or you do it like I have done in an Excel sheet, or whatever way is convenient, because this information would be required once we are actually going to create the dimensions in the Power Query editor. So now what is left? So now whatever is left goes in the fact table. You would automatically have observed that the information that we haven't captured as yet is the transactional information, the information that actually represents a transaction. So that information is mainly the price, the sales, the profit, the discount, all these quantitative information which is actually associated with a transaction. Obviously the transaction also has something to do with the date and time. So all that information goes in the fact table. And we saw another thing which is called as the foreign key that goes there, but we are going to discuss primary key and foreign key once we are talking about the facts. So so I'll stop here on this video, and we are going to discuss the fact portion in the next video, and we will just focus on the dimension part in this video. So I'll catch up with you in the next video.